and welcome. If you feel like you keep doing everything right to lose weight and the scale still does not move, this video is going to save you a lot of time and frustration. Actually, this whole video series, right? In this series, I'm going to walk you through how to set yourself up for weight loss from the ground up, not with rules or extremes, but with a system that actually works in real life. And we're going to talk about decisions and adjustments so you know exactly what to change when things stall instead of quitting. This is for people who are in my program, and it's also for people who just want to understand weight loss without confusion or extremes. Hello, my name is Jody. I have lost 165 pounds and I am a weight loss coach. I help people lose weight in a way that actually lasts. I have two ways I do that. I have a do-it-yourself program called the Flexible Dieting Method, where you learn the skills to manage your weight on your own. And I also offer one-on-one coaching, where I walk you through the process. We meet over multiple weeks and months, and I support you while you learn how to apply all of the things that we're going to learn here today in real life. But today is not about selling you anything. Today, I want to show you how weight loss actually works. Let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is open a spreadsheet. So this is a Google spreadsheet, and we're just going to write a few things on the top here. We're going to write the date. We're going to write the word weight, calories, protein in grams, it's a G, fiber in grams, that's a G, hydration, step count, and lifting. That's it, very simple. Right here, we're going to write goal, and I like to make it uh, green. You don't have to, though. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our calories. We're going to head back to this website, deliciousdeficit.com, and we're going to click on calorie calculator. The very first thing you are going to do before you ever talk about calories is choose your activity level. So this part matters more than people realize because your calories come from something called your TDEE. Now, TDEE stands for total daily energy expenditure. And that's just a fancy way of saying how many calories your body burns a day. Your TDEE is based on two things, your biology and your activity. Your biology includes things like your age, your height, your weight, and your sex. Those are data points you cannot change. But your activity level is a multiplier. So this is where steps and workouts come in. So before you click anything on the calculator, I want you to answer two questions honestly. First, what is your step goal? Not what you wish you could do, not what you did once on vacation. What can you do most days of the week? You can choose a solid number if that helps, like 5,000, 7,000, or 9 or 10,000 steps. Or you can think of it as a range, something between 8 and 10 or 3 and 6. But you need to know what your step goal is before you choose an activity level. Second, how many days per week are you realistically going to work out? And no exercise is an answer, right? Again, not what sounds impressive. What can you repeat? Your step goal and your workout goal together determine your activity factor, and that determines how much food you get to eat. This is where people get into trouble. I laid out activity levels here, so read them. For example, sedentary, no exercise, sedentary job around 2,000 to 3,000 steps. Okay. Light activity, exercise 1 to 2 times per week. Sedentary job around 5,000 steps. Moderate activity, 3 to 5 workouts a week. Sedentary, 7 to 10,000 steps. Now, heavy activity is very, very rare that people have heavy activity. That's exercise 6 days per week, active job 10,000 steps a day, every single day, right? And an active job. So they're very active people. So the first thing I want you to do is go back to our spreadsheet and choose and enter your step count. My step count is going to be 10,000 steps a day, yes. And then I'm going to lift weights 3 days. So I put this on my data entry. This is what I need to do. Within 7 days, I need to lift 3 days. Every single day, I need to get 10,000 steps. Or you can also enter this as 70,000 steps a week, which means some days I can get less than 10,000 and some days I can get more than 10,000, but it has to equal 70,000 the whole week. And you can do the same thing. If you have 3,000 steps a day, then that's 21,000 steps a week. And you can have higher steps and lower steps, but I wouldn't suggest lower than 3,000. So maybe do that with maybe 5,000 steps. So that'd be what, like 40,000 steps a week, and you can divide that by seven, any way you would like. But I most likely will do 10,000 steps a day. So next, we're going to go back to the calculator and we're going to enter everything in here. So female, I am 47. I weigh right now 170. I'm up by 5 today. Sometimes I'm down by 2. It just depends. But today I'm entering the weight. I weighed myself today. I am 5'6". I'm choosing moderate activity because remember I said 10,000 steps and 3 workouts. So moderate activity. Doing weight loss, 20%, and I'm going to have all of those numbers sent emailed to me. 64. So we're going to go back. We're going to copy that. 1764 for the calories. And then I'm going to look at the protein and I'm going to put 132. So 132 grams of protein. And then let's go with fiber. So fiber is 14 grams per 1,000 calories, 28 grams at the very least amount. So I'm going to do 28 grams there. Give a little space. Hydration is half my body weight in ounces. And I like to do a range. So I'm going to do 70 to 85 ounces of water. Okay. Then I could put my starting weight right there. The next thing is the date that I'm going to start, and that's going to be 2/1. And then I'm only focusing on 30 days at a time. Okay. I think it's a 28. Yeah, I'm doing February. So 28 days for February. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to insert a space or a row. I'm going to highlight this, give it a little gray, but I'm only going to focus on the next 7 days. I don't care what happens here, okay? I don't care what happens in March. I don't care what happens on 2/8. All I care about is what happens here. This is all I'm focusing on. So this week, I'm going to weigh myself every single day. I'm going to enter that information. I am going to use a macros app, and I'll show you that right now. This is the tracking app I use to track my calories. Available in the App Store, Google Play. It is you can start for free and learn how to do that. In my course, I teach you how to use that. Let's see. So I'm going to use that to track my calories. I'm going to use that to track my protein, and I'm going to use that to track my fiber. Oh, as well as hydration. And I'm going to go out every day and I'm going to try to get 10,000 steps throughout the day. And within the next 7 days, I will be lifting 3 days a week. And that is how you set up for fat loss. That's as easy, and it's easy to set up and probably not so easy to execute, right? So that's what we're going to do this week. So now this is where I want to pause and explain something important. I am 5 years past my major weight loss of 165 pounds. So I have like 15 to 20 pounds left, and I'm kind of at my goal weight. So at this stage, I need efficiency, right? I have simple meals, I have repeating food, I have less decision making, and that works for me. That might not work for you. If you are earlier in your journey, you might need more variety, you might need more flexibility, might need to rotate proteins or meals more often so you do not feel restricted or burned out. And that's okay. So, this is not about copying what I eat. This is about understanding how to make decisions that work for you. I want you to use me as a data point, not a blueprint. Okay. So, my food choices, my workouts, my calorie numbers, my steps, all of that belongs to me. I make that successful based on what I can do. It will not automatically make you successful. What matters now is how you respond to those your own data points, right? So when I say data points, I mean, or data, I mean talking about two different things. Okay. So the first is measurable data. The weight each day is a data point, the calories, the protein, the fiber, the steps are all data points. So there's another kind of data point that matters just as much, and that is decision data. So every time you make a decision, you are collecting information. What happens when you eat more variety? What happens when you simplify your meals? What happens when you plan ahead? What happens when you do not? Those are outcomes based on data, right? So weight loss is not about following rules forever. It's about making decisions, observing what happens, and adjusting based on real information instead of emotion. So when you see what I'm eating this week, do not think I should do that. Think, would that work for me right now? And the answer might be no. And that's not failure, okay? That is maturity and that is insight. This is how you build a system that works for your life, not mine, okay? So each week we're going to add to this more understanding, more context, more clarity. So make sure you subscribe because we're going to keep building on this foundation step by step. This is not about doing everything at once. It's about learning how weight loss actually works and using that knowledge on purpose. Now, I know it seems like we just built the spreadsheet and it's that simple, and it is that simple. People really try to complicate weight loss, but the execution is what is not simple, right? You're going to have to learn how to meet your calorie needs, how to incorporate protein, how to incorporate fiber. So I also have a podcast, and this is more of like the mindset part of things. If you're an emotional eater, if you're a binge eater, if you need some mindset work, you can listen on Spotify, Apple, or really anywhere. And there are over 70 episodes if you are interested in that as well. So here's what happens next. For the next 7 days, I'm going to collect that data, right? And so are you. I'm going to weigh myself. I'm going to track my calories, protein, fiber, steps, workouts. And then we're going to get back together in 7 days and we're going to put all of those data points together and see if we had any weight loss. Weight loss is essentially a hypothesis, right? We're saying, hey, if I eat this much protein, if I eat this much calories, the fiber, if I walk this much, if I do 3 workouts, I'm going to lose between probably zero point 0.5 to 2 pounds per week, depending on your initial body weight. So, and the first week usually is a larger drop. So we'll see. Can I make 169 next week when I see you again? We'll see. So I hope to see you next week. And also, don't forget to subscribe. And I think I'll be posting on Sunday mornings, just so we have something to work with the rest of Sunday. We can meal prep, things like that. So hope to see you then.